All right, today we're jumping into a real-life detective story, but the clues aren't hidden in some old mansion. No, they're hidden deep inside our own DNA. And they solve one of the biggest puzzles about what actually makes us human.
So right off the bat, here's the mystery. We humans have 46 chromosomes. You know, those little packages of DNA. But our closest living relatives, chimps, gorillas, orangutans, they all have 48. Now, that's a difference that really needs an explanation.
You've got to wonder, right? This seemingly small difference has puzzled scientists for a long, long time. If we really do share a common ancestor with the great apes, our genetic blueprints should have the same number of pages. So what happened? Did we just lose 2 entire chromosomes somewhere along the way?
To crack a case this big, you have to bring in the experts. We're talking about genetic detectives, and their forensic lab is exactly where we're going to find the clues to piece this whole story together.
So what's in their toolkit? Well, the field is called cytogenetics. You can basically think of it as genetic forensics. It's the science of looking at the chromosomes themselves, their structure, their number, and the story they tell about evolution. It's how we read the history that's literally written in our cells.
So, what are these geneticists actually looking for? Well, they check out each chromosome's size, its shape, and where that little pinched-in part, the centromere, is located. But the most important clue of all? It's the banding pattern. See, when you stain a chromosome, it reveals this unique barcode of light and dark bands. And that genetic barcode, that is the key to solving this whole mystery. And that one clue, that barcode, it leads us directly to the heart of the investigation. We're talking about the smoking gun of this entire case, a single, absolutely remarkable chromosome in the human genome.
Okay, so here's the big reveal. We didn't lose 2 chromosomes at all. It turns out 2 ancestral chromosomes, which are still separate and other great apes today, actually fuse together head-to-head to create what we now call human chromosome 2. Now that is a huge claim, but believe me, the evidence is incredibly powerful.
The case for this fusion event is built on 3 rock-solid pieces of evidence. Let's just walk through them one by one. First up, step 1, the perfect match. When scientists laid out the genetic barcodes, they found something absolutely astounding. The banding pattern on our super long chromosome 2 is a near-perfect end-to-end match for 2 smaller, separate chromosomes you find in chimpanzees. It's like finding 2 halves of a torn-up map that just fit together perfectly.
Now for step 2, we need a quick anatomy lesson. Every single normal chromosome has these little protective caps on its ends. Think of them like the plastic tips on your shoelaces. They're called telomeres, and their whole job is to stop the chromosome from fraying or, accidentally sticking to other chromosomes. They should only be at the tips.
And this is where it gets brilliant. Just think about it for a second. If 2 chromosomes got stuck together head-to-head, where would their old telomeres end up? Right smack in the middle. And that is exactly what scientists found. Telomere DNA right in the center of our chromosome 2, precisely at the point where the fusion happened. That is a classic smoking gun. And that brings us to step 3, the final nail in the coffin. A normal chromosome has 1 centromere, that little pinch point. But if our chromosome 2 is really a mashup of 2 older chromosomes, it should show signs of having 2. And guess what? It does. We found a second deactivated ghost centromere at the exact spot the fusion model predicts. Case closed.
Now, this incredible fusion event is the biggest difference between us and other apes, for sure. But it's not the only clue hiding in our shared blueprint. Other, smaller changes help us map out our entire primate family tree with amazing precision.
Yeah, besides these massive fusions, scientists also track other little changes, like something called pericentric inversions. Here's an easy way to think about it. Imagine a sentence in a book where a few words get cut out, flipped completely around, and then pasted back in. That's an inversion. These unique little genetic typos are passed down through generations, almost like family heirlooms. And by seeing which species share the same specific inversions, we can accurately map out all the different branches of our primate family.
So when we pull all this evidence together, the fusions, the inversions, those genetic barcodes, we can actually build a remarkably clear genetic timeline of our shared history.
This genetic clock tells us that our most distant great ape cousins, the orangutans, they branched off about 14 million years ago. Then came the gorillas, around 8 million years ago. And finally, the lineage that would lead to us and to chimpanzees, well, that split happened just around 6 million years ago. In the grand scheme of things, we are very, very recent additions to the family.
And all this evidence just hammers home how close we really are. I mean, look at this. We share an incredible 98.8% of our DNA with chimpanzees. That tiny 1.2% difference is where all the genetic changes happened, including that massive chromosome 2 fusion that set us off on our own unique evolutionary path.
So why does any of this matter? What's the big takeaway? It's that solving the mystery of the missing chromosomes does so much more than just answer a scientific question. It shows us that the story of our evolution isn't just trapped in fossils buried in the ground. It's written in the cells of every single one of us. It's a pretty profound reminder of our connection to all life on this planet.
And that kind of leaves us with a fascinating final thought. Our DNA is a living, breathing history book that's constantly being edited. The fusion that created our chromosome 2 was a major plot twist in our past. So, you have to wonder, what new chapters are being written right now? What story will our DNA tell a million years from today?